We've arrived for a full day in Stratford-On-Avon, and we're going to start by finding breakfast in this little market down by the river. Wow, they look gorgeous, don't they? Do you take cash?
Yeah, we do, £16.
I love this one. Whoa. The boat trip starts at the Boathouse, which was an old warehouse converted in the 1890s to hire out boats for river trips. From this lock here, there's a sign. It says York 226 miles, 199 miles to Liverpool, 132 miles to London and 30 miles to Birmingham.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. I'd rather pay the extra pound and not be over 65, I tell you that. The tramway bridge is the number 5, and it was built in 1826. And it was for horse-drawn carriages to take goods across. But the easier access now is this bridge here into the town. That's the one we walked across this morning.
The reason most people come to Stratford-On-Avon is because of Britain's 16th century writer, William Shakespeare, and the theatre, the Royal Shakespeare Theatre Company. But there's so much more. The Dragon Race, the Food Festival, music festivals. In fact, the pretty village of Stratford-On-Avon is worth visiting anytime.
So this is the Royal Shakespeare Theatre, Royal Shakespeare Company. We're going along the back of it. You can see the cafe outside. From the theatre cafe, you get to see some of the workings of the inside of the theatre. It's a good tease, but the only way you can get deeper inside is to do a tour. I did try to get through the curtains, but they're sewn together. It's a lovely idea.
Yeah, it's nice.
Yeah, great for the kids.
Thou dreadful minister of hell.
That's great.
Sir Knob.
That's brilliant.
All our costumes are made on site, so everything that comes on our stages we make here.
Right.
So whether it's across the road in the costume workshop or whether it's down at Timothy Bridge Road, they do the backstage kind of the scenery painting and that, but yeah, it's all made here.
It's stunning. This is all made out of Lego, and all of the staff that worked here were given an individual Lego piece and they placed it into the portrait. Oh wow. This is a picture of Romeo's face made up by hundreds of stars.
So the stars around it are the constellation of stars on the night Shakespeare was born. Isn't that amazing?
That is amazing.
So in this little plaque it tells you all about it, but it doesn't tell you that.
So it's free to come in here, and this is an exhibition of the costumes going back to the very early 1900s. Oh, that's the Winter's Tale. This is the first folio of William Shakespeare's comedies, histories and tragedies from 1623. It's one surviving copy of that book of approximately 750 originally printed. Only about 230 remain. This is one of the oldest costumes, and it was Constance Benson as Lady Macbeth in 1903. There's a costume machine, and you find a costume and then you raise your hand to select which one you want. So I've got the suit of armour. Now if I want to change it, I've got to press this. I don't want that one. And raise my right hand to select, and voila! Oh, beautiful! I feel I'm in a Shakespeare play now. Great fun. Little photo opportunity.
The best view is from the tower.
The cottages down below are where the actors and the stage management stay during the performances. So the round dome is the Swan Theatre, and that was built in 1879, and it burnt down during a fire in 1926, and it was rebuilt in 1966.
So there have been a number of huge tragedies here at this particular Shakespeare Theatre, and I guess the one that should never have happened is that when this was built, the Swan Theatre, they had a huge water tower built next door, which would be to put the fires out should there be a fire. There was a fire, but the water tower didn't work. Not only didn't it work, but it burnt itself and then collapsed and crushed the Swan Theatre. So the whole of the inside of this Swan Theatre was completely destroyed, which is why it had to be rebuilt, and it's rebuilt the way it is. But the inside is the best.
So that's a hand-operated ferry. You need strong arms for that, I reckon. The old chain ferry is the last of its kind in Britain, and it was built in 1937. Right by the theatre is where you hire your rowing boats, and they're all named after Shakespeare's characters. It's £20 for half an hour. This is the beautiful riverside walk to the church. So you come up the stairs and you go through this little gateway into the church. Shakespeare's grave is at the back of the church by the altar. You actually have to pay £5 if you want to go and see it, but it is worth it.
If you're wearing a long robe, it can look like you're standing, but you can put your bottom on there, so it looks like you're standing. But they do fold down. Oh.
So Shakespeare's grave is at the end of the church, right in front of the altar. So this is the grave of William Shakespeare. And this is his wife, Anne. So this is the actual font that William was baptised in, and it got thrown out, and they found it and they brought it back in the church. So only the top's the original, not the base.
It's about 1896 it was put in place.
So Shakespeare's bust is said to be one of the best likenesses of William Shakespeare, and a lot of the portraits of him are taken from that. It was commissioned by him and it was approved after his death by Anne, his wife. And every year on his birthday, he gets a new quill. One of the boys from the local school climbs up a stepladder and presents him with a new quill.
And if you thought that was a strange yarn, how about this?
In the park by the church is the toilet of the year. It was voted that because it was designed to look like the Royal Shakespeare Theatre. The river cruises last about 30 minutes. It's £11 for adults, £7 for children, and £10 if you're over 65. This amazing statue of William Shakespeare was brought here in 1888. It was originally in the ruins of the old Swan Theatre, and it's surrounded by Shakespeare's characters. This one's Falstaff. Here's Lady Macbeth in the famous scene where she's washing her hands, trying to rid herself of the blood and saying, "Out, damned spot." Here's Hamlet, Prince of Denmark, saying, "Alas, poor Yorick, I knew him well." These statues are pretty amazing. They took 12 years to complete, and the work was carried out in Paris.
And finally, let's walk you through the town. But it's not quite the same as it was in the 16th century, although some of it is still pretty close. They'll all find an excuse as to why Shakespeare was here, or his uncle's sister's friend's mother lived here. You think that Monty Python should have done The Life of William. Oh, Ben Elton did, didn't he? Upstart Crow, which is a great series on the BBC. But there are places where his family lived, where he lived, where he went to school. You'll have lots of opportunity to see buildings. The interiors, though, are obviously themed and relikened to that which they were back then. I didn't know Shakespeare had a gift shop, but there is one of those too. Enjoy your day in Stratford-On-Avon, and please visit us at Doris Visits.
If you come here at 3 o'clock, 5 o'clock or 7 o'clock, you can get a walking tour. It'll cost you £10. You meet opposite the town hall. It's about an hour and a half long, and it's very entertaining. They tell you ghost stories along the way. There are so many great places we could visit because Stratford-on-Avon is built on the tourist industry. Tudor World is one of them. It's a walk-through museum, and it features Tudor times in a horrible histories type of way. And also at night, it's a ghostly place to visit.
We normally show you the insides of cruise ships or cruise ports, but we have visited many great English villages.
So I hope we've given you a taste of what's available to see here in Stratford-on-Avon. It's a great place to visit. We've had a great day, and a good place to end it is down in the Boathouse with a glass of rosé. Don't forget to check out our other films on Doris Visits. We've got films of ports all over the world, as well as tours of many of the cruise ships. Hope to see you next time. We're having a few days in Castle Combe. It's a staycation, and this is the most beautiful village in England, so they say. There are no television aerials, no satellite dishes, no parking, no cables, which is why programmes like Downton Abbey love to come here and film. St Andrew's Church is very beautiful and very welcoming, and at the back of the church is a display of photos from when the movie War Horse was made here. The Faceless Clock, one of the oldest clocks in England. Visitors often wondered how the villagers told the time, but they just listened to the bells chiming every hour.
Kieran Phillips finds his name on a chilling Russian kill list. Billy persuades Kieran that the fight is far from over. They must take the fight away from Miami and head to Russia. Ronnie, a former sleeper agent with deep Russian ties, is crucial, but she refuses to return. Desperate, Kieran recruits a soul band as covert cover to reopen the Baltic cruise route and infiltrate Russia. When the band's saxophonist overdoses, the mission nearly falls apart. Ronnie vanishes without a trace. The team must shepherd the soul band through Miami, Latvia, Rostock in Germany. Helsinki is just the move from the dock to the main town and then onto the Tallinn ferry. Tallinn and to Narva, building media buzz to mask their covert passage. But the final obstacle looms, the heavily guarded, tension-filled border with Russia. Denied legal entry, Kieran and Billy are forced into the shadows. turning to a rogue militia led by Stefan, Ronnie's presumed dead husband, who has a star in Langley. Once an ally, now a merciless opportunist. Stefan offers a chilling alternative. Don't kill Istov, expose him. Stefan wants to use him as bait to lure Putin and implode the Russian chain of command from within. As loyalties fracture and moral costs skyrocket, Kieran and Billy must gamble everything. Is exposure more dangerous than execution? And who really controls the board? Putin takes the bait, but the expected assassination helicopter is a decoy. Amid the chaos, Kieran evacuates the soul band to Narva Castle for the final defiant concert, where locals dance across the forbidden border, the Freedom Bridge. The ultimate revelation. It wasn't about assassination. The answers are in the unexpected. The cruise crime novel with espionage, out now on Kindle, paperback and audiobook.